Hey everyone, welcome back to Python DevOps. In today's video, we are going to master one of the most important topic in Amazon S3. First is versioning, next one is CRR and SSR. Both are the replication technique. And then we have a lifecycle rule. If you don't understand these, you can lose data, increase cost, or even break compliance. So let's fix it today. Let's start with the versioning. So what is the problem? As I given the problem statement, you upload an image today, image.jpg. Next day, you uploaded the same image with the same name, image.jpg. The old file is gone forever. So versioning solve this issue. I have given the example like with versioning on image.jpg, we got the unique id of that image. Same for the next day you uploaded, and after you upload sometime, so you got the latest image every time and it has a unique id. So let's go on my md file. I have the note as well. As you can see, what is S3 versioning? Versioning is a feature of S3 that keeps multiple version of the same object in a bucket. Every time you upload, overwrite or delete an object, S3 store a new version instead of permanently replacing or deleting. So why do you need the versioning? It protect the data first, even you delete or overwrite, and you can recover any older version at any time. Require for enabling replication. If you are enabling the replication, you require the versioning as well. Require for enabling MFA delete. If you want to need extra authentication like MFA, then you require the versioning. Next, we have a 3 versioning state. Is it also I mentioned in my PPT? So let's go. So we have a 3 versioning state. One is default one. If you created a bucket, so default no version enable. So it called unversioned. So no version ID assign, object overwrite each other, no recovery possible. I have given the example previously. If you uploaded an image.jpg and you upload next day, so it will overwrite and you cannot recover older one. Next, you enable the versioning. Every object get a unique id, version id, full history preserved forever. Like you created the bucket and then enable the versioning and you start uploading the data, so you got the unique id of each object, full history preserved forever. Okay, so next we have a suspended. Let's create a new object, get a null id, existing versioning are kept, cannot go back to unversioned. Let's suppose you have created a bucket and then you upload the data and after that you stop the versioning. So older versioning will remain. Like you can get the data of the older version of the object, but you uploaded the new image, so it has a suspended, that is pause state as well. So you cannot recover the object of new data because there was no versioning enable. Okay, there's a warning or the notes I have given. Once version is enabled, you can only suspend it. You can never go back to unversion. See, if you have the file and it has the 100 of version, even if you unversion the S3 bucket, so there is a 100 version will enable. So this means is suspended. Also I give the warning as well. Let's go to the our md file. I have given the same example, you can check. Next, we have a delete an object with a version enable. Let's go on our ppt. Okay, next topic is how delete work with versioning. So let's suppose you have a bucket and versioning is enabled, then you have a 2 different method to deleting an object. First is delete without version id and second was delete with version id. If you deleting an object, it shows deleted in S3 but you did not mention the version id. So what will happen? All the version will exist, it just appear in the S3, that file is deleted. You can delete that marker while you deleting the object. You get an delete marker via Amazon itself. So if you delete that marker, your file will restore. If you deleting with version id, so you give the version id while you deleting, so object will permanently deleted and cannot be recovered. So this is the deletion work in the Amazon S3 while versioning is enabled. Let's go to the AWS console and do the practical demo. So I've already logged in my AWS account and we do not have any bucket. If you click on the general purpose, you can see there is a no bucket. Let's click on the create bucket. Okay, it's asking we keep it general purpose and the global namespace default and give it name. So I'm just giving the name according to our topic, versioning, replication and lifecycle. So I gave this name and all the things keep it default. Let's click on the create bucket. Okay, our bucket is created. So currently we do not have any object in the bucket. Now let's go into the properties section. As you can see, the bucket versioning is disabled and MFA is also disabled. Let's click on the edit and it shows suspended. Now click on the enable. You cannot enable the MFA without CLI or the SDK. It's already mentioned here. You have to use the CLI, SDK or Amazon S3 REST API. So let's click on the save changes. Okay, so this is how you can create the bucket and enable the versioning. Now how can you use the versioning? For that, I'm opening my VS Studio Code. I will create my object here. I have already created a folder S3 versioning. Let's create a file. For me, I'm creating index.html. You can try with any kind of file like image, text or anything. I'm using Emmet abbreviation. Hit enter. Then you have to give some content h1. For me, I'm giving the content S3 object version 1. Let's save it. Now we have to upload on our S3. Open the new terminal and then run the copy command AWS S3 cp and you have to give the destination, sorry, source, then destination S3 colon / and then your S3 bucket name. Copy. Let's paste it here. Let's go to the console itself, refresh it. Let's open this object. Let's see first properties. So versioning in enable. Now let's go on the object and click on the object itself, index.html, and check the version. So current version is WMG. This is the version ID. And if you want to open it, you can open it as well. So these are version S3 object version 1. Now let's upload the version 2 with the same name. So let's change this file as well and keep it S3 version 2 and upload it again. Okay, it's uploaded. While you using the versioning, so by default it will give you the latest file if you did not mention version ID anywhere, like in if you are using this file in your website or your application anywhere, so it will give you the default one. So the default currently is the new one, which is RIRZ version ID. Previous was the WMG. So if you will refresh this page, you will get the object version 2. So let's refresh it and see we have a version 2. If you try one more time, so let's update this file again and keep it S3, save, and then re-upload it, and it's uploaded. So let's refresh it. Let's refresh this page only. So currently is RIR. Now it will change to the new one with the version which I have the content mentioned, version 3 9y KPO. Let's refresh this page as well. So you can see we have a version 3. So that's how you can use the versioning and get any version file at any time. If you want to download it, you can download as well, like this version or this version, any version. Let's try to delete a file. For delete, let's go outside and delete the current one. Okay, it still asks to delete, so I am deleting. Now you can see this bucket is empty. We have no object. Is it really empty? So let's re-upload the file, and current one is S3 version 3. So let's make it 4 and save it. So current is version 4. Just keep reminded that we have a content S3 object version 4. So let's refresh this page and refresh this one as well. So you have a S3 object version 4. Now let's go to the object and check the versions. Is it all version deleted or that version only? See, this also not deleted. It's just as a delete marker of this object. So let's do one thing. I have currently running the object version 4. So it shows access denied. Why? Let's open this. Click on the property. Click on the object. Meanwhile, it's private. That's why it's forbidden. But it can be opened by the object URL. Okay, so S3 object version 4. Let's save the, let's again delete this file. I'm teaching you how can you delete the file. Then enter the delete. So we have a empty bucket. Now let's re-upload the version 5. Command save, click on the copy in the copy command. Okay, so currently we have a version 5, and let's go to the Chrome and refresh this page. You can refresh the bucket as well. Okay, we have a index.html and we have the two different delete marker on the previous version. Like on this one it has the 4. See, this is our file, HTML file, and this is the delete marker on it. So you can delete the marker or you can delete the file as well. So I will not delete the marker, I will delete the file. So currently it's serving the version 5. If you refresh this page, so you have version 5. Now let's delete the delete marker. So we have two different delete marker. Let's delete both. Click on the delete and give the permanently delete. Okay, delete object. And now we have a 5 different files with the previous one, this one. So every marker is deleted on that file. Now if you want to open this file, so let's open it. I open into a different tab. Click on the open. So we have version 4. If you open this one and click open, we have also a version 4. Okay, I have uploaded version 4 multiple times. Okay, let's open the first one and click open, and we have version 1. Okay, so we have version 4 and version 1 file. Let's add the delete marker on top of that. Okay, if you select the particular version, then the file will be deleted. Let's paste it here, permanently delete object. So you can see we have only 4 versions are there. One is deleted permanently. If you open this one and click on open, you have a version 2. So that's how you can manage your different version and delete the version as well. So this is all about the versioning. We can enable the MFA using CLI, but we will do in the upcoming video, or if you will comment that you need that video on the MFA, so I will create the video separate. The next topic is S3 replication. So this is the overview of the replication. You are copying the data from source bucket to the destination bucket based on the rule you define. So we have two different kind of replication: cross region replication and the same region replication. Cross region means source and destination both are in different region, means source and destination bucket are in different regions. Meanwhile in SRR means same region replication, source and destination are in the same AWS region. So let's go. Okay, we have a prerequisite for the CSR or the SRR. First, versioning should be enabled for the source bucket, and IAM role required in the destination bucket. So these are the requirement. Let's go first with the cross region replication. So what is the cross region replication? Means your data copy across the regions. like I have a bucket in the US East 1 region and I want to copy the data into the Mumbai region or Singapore region. So for that we have to enable the versioning on the source bucket, means on this bucket, and attach the IAM role, means grant the permission to the both the bucket actually. So we will do that. And what is the use case? Use case is the disaster recovery, global user can access, so we need the low latency, and the compliance and the data low, so we have to store the bucket into the particular region. And data sovereignty means you have to store the data into the particular region as well. And not replicated. But not replicated, you can replicate whole the data but not replicated if existing object you have applied the role before, so you cannot copy the data which is already existing. Next one, you cannot copy the data if you put the data into the glacier or the deep archive object. If it's encrypted, so you also cannot copy the data. And if it has the delete marker, so also you cannot copy the data into the different bucket. So this is about the CRR. We will do the practical. For that we have to create the different bucket into the different region after the SRR theory. So in the case of SRR, we have a source bucket and the destination bucket, both are in the same region. And the use cases will be, you can aggregate the log, you can you can copy the data from test to the prod or prod to the test, you can separate the data as well. And if you require the cross account copy, so in that case you can do that. If you have the compliance copy, then you can do it via the SRR. So this is the case of SRR. Okay, side by side I have given something that CRR was SRR. It could be into the different region or the same region. Account can be same or the different. Versioning required in both case. Disaster recovery primarily use the cross region. I did the CRR in a company, so we have to set up the whole the infra into the different region. Meanwhile we are using Terraform, so I will create a separate playlist of the Terraform, and you do not need the disaster recovery into the same region. Next, aggregation for the test dev different environment, you can create the log aggregation into the same region. Global latency, it can be geolocation based because we have a multiple bucket into the different region, that's why you need the SCRR. Same region do not have the global latency. Transfer cost, it has the higher because we are transferring the data from one region to another, and it has the lower cost. Okay, no transfer fees. So let's go to the console again. So these are our AWS console, and we have already a bucket created and it has the file index.html. Let's create another bucket. Click on the create bucket, give some name, give the same name. Let's copy this our source and paste it here and give the destination. So these are the destination bucket. Keep it global across region and keep it ACL enable, all the thing enable. And we are not getting the option for the region selection, so we have to change the region. I think let's change the region. Let's keep it in Mumbai and create bucket here. Okay, region also change. Give the destination. We are doing the first CRR, so let's give the CRR and then destination. And now let's create the bucket. So we have created the bucket into the different region. Okay, now we have created two bucket. One is US East 1 region and one is AP South 1. So next we have to first enable the versioning in both bucket. As you know, versioning already enable in this bucket. Next we have to enable for this bucket. Let's click on the bucket and click on the properties and then click on the edit and just enable and do the save changes. So our versioning enable in the both bucket. So next step is we have to create the IAM rule. If you go to the CRR, I have also created the notes. Versioning must be enabled. Next one is an IAM role. So let's create the IAM role. For the IAM role, let's go to the IAM. So for the IAM, search for the IAM, and we are in the IAM role tab. Let's create a role. Click on the create role. Keep it AWS service and choose the service, and we are going with the S3. Okay, use case is S3. Keep it next, and we are not selecting any AWS managed service. We will create one. So next, click on the next and keep the trust policy as it is. We have to give a name. I'm giving the name S3 CRR IAM, or give the rule S3 CRR rule. Okay, trust policy will be same. I will explain it how we can use that in upcoming video. Click on the create role. So our trust policy, IAM role is created with the S3 service. Next we have to create the policy. So open the policies. I have clicked on it. It's opened into the different tab because I have pressed the control. Next we have to click on the create policy. You can use the JSON or the visual. I will show you how can we use the JSON and the visual as well. So first go with the JSON. So it has the statement. You can give the statement and name S3 policy SRR policy CRR source. So we are keeping for the source. You have to provide the multiple action. First it's the get replication configuration. Get replication configuration. Next we have to give the S3 list bucket. On the above line we also have to give the S3 there, 3 column. So these are two roles. And then we have to give the resource should be the source one because we are creating for the source. Select this bucket, copy the ARN, and then paste it here in the double quote. Okay, so you can go into the visual. So we have selected the 1s3 resource is this one, and in the list section we have a list bucket, and in the read section we have enabled the get replication configuration. So that's how you can use the visual. Next we have to add one more, and for that let click on the add more permission, but let's go to via the visual itself and add the effect allow. I'm copying this section and pasting here. Keep the S3 policy CRR get object CRR source. Okay, sorry, it's CRR policy, so keep it as 3 policy get object CRR, and we have to change the action. First one is get object version, and second one is get object version ACL. Okay, I'm just copying this one and pasting here get object version ACL, and next same 3 colon get object version tagging. We have to enable for the tagging as well. If any object has the tagging, then we can add that too. And after that you have to pass the while dart /star, and next copy this section. Okay, we have to create for the destination one S3 destination CRR policy. You can give CRR policy. Okay, you can give any name here. We need 3 things. One is replicate object, replicate. I'm just copying the replicate because we need this multiple times. Replicate object. Second one is replicate delete, and third one is replicate tags. So this is the whole thing, and then we need the ARN here. Just for the destination, so copy the ARN of the destination. So I have selected this bucket and copied the ARN, and I think here we need to paste. So this is the whole policy you need to create. You can check into the visual as well. I have added 3 more permission. It has a 3 different action. Okay, let's click on the next. Give the name 3 CRR policy. So it is the policy. There is the IAM role. It is required. You can give any description. It is required for the CRR in S3. Cross region replication. Basically CRR means create policy. You can add the tag. I'm not giving any tag. Copy the policy name and go to our IAM role. Click on the add permission, patch policy. Search the policy here. We got the multiple policy which is managed by the AWS, and we have created the one which is the custom one. So let's add that permission onto the our IAM role. So see, these are the AWS managed. You want to filter, you can filter out. See, these are custom managed policy. So this CRR policy, I think I've created the recently this one. This CRR. Okay, we have already one created. I've created into the different requirement. Okay, wait, it's loading. Policy is still loading, but it shows attach is successfully. Okay, let's refresh this page. It's taking so much time. Okay, after reloading, it's attached. Now go to our this bucket, the source one. Click on the management. Go to the replication rule. Okay, this one is we have currently 0 replication rule. So click on the create replication rule and give the replication rule name S3 CRR. Give it S3 CRR only. Okay, and then apply all object. I'm applying for the all object, whether it's coming to any folder. Then we have to specify the bucket. Choose a bucket in this account or into the different. Okay, I'm not going with the another account. I'm choosing into the same account. You can choose the different account. Okay, now we have a one bucket only. Select the bucket. This is our destination bucket, so I've choose the destination one. It is in the cross region. The current bucket is into the North Virginia, and our bucket is AP South. Next we have to choose the IAM role, S3 CRR role we have created, and then keep everything as it is. You can enable the delete marker and click on the save. No, I don't want replicate. Otherwise we have to create the batch operation as well. It is the one-time batch operation. Okay, then we have to create the different time role, all the things. I will show you how can we create the batch role, but currently I don't. Click on submit. So replication role is created. You can check into the this S3 and the destination one. I have opened into the different tab. This is the destination bucket. So let's minimize it. In here we have to upload our file. Click on the upload, add the file. Okay, these are the notes of our tutorial. Click on the upload. The file is uploaded. Let's check into RS3. So you can check this data is here. Let's check any object is here. Let's maximize the window size. Okay, now refresh it. I think I did something wrong or not sure. Okay, now it's coming. Okay, it took some time, but yeah, the object is copy. You want to copy the whole folder, so you can do that as well. Let's click on the action. Sorry, let's click on the upload, then add the folder, and let's copy the whole files. We have a multiple error.html, all the things. Let's upload this. Upload. All the files are uploaded. Let's click on the upload. It took some time. Click on the close. You can see in the demo web we have the 5 different file. Now let's refresh this one. It took some time, so let's wait. Meanwhile, I'm refreshing as well. Okay, scheme here, and we have all the file. Boom. So this is how you can replicate your object into RS3. Okay, now let's do the S3 replication in case of SRR. So click on the bucket and create a new one. I'm copying this name. Create bucket. General purpose global namespace. Keep it default. Just change the SRR version replication lifecycle. Okay, and then you have to enable the versioning. I'm enabling here, and click on the create bucket. So let's wait. To create a conflict in operation currently after addressing on the create bucket. Why it's doing this way? One has issue. I'm into the as I'm doing the SRR. So let's go into the SRR for the same reason. Let's click on the create bucket. It is in the North Virginia region. Paste the bucket name. Not CRR. We are going to do the SRR, and you can enable the versioning here. Click on the create bucket. Okay, bucket is created. Now let's copy this name. Why I'm copying this name? Go to your IAM role, and then you have to add the permission. Create one more policy. Go into the policy section, and on the policy, click on the create policy. Copy the whole policy, and then select the JSON. Select all. Paste it here. Changes CRR to SRR. So this is our SSR. Our source bucket remains same. Destination gonna change. So change it. This one as well. Keep the SRR. And this one is the SRR, and also we are going to change the name of the bucket SRR destination. Everything gonna remain same. Let's click on the next. Give some name. S3 SRR policy. It is for replication in S3 of SRR. Okay, let's click on the create policy. Our policy is created. Now we need to attach on the IAM role. We have to repeat the same step as we did for the SRR. Click on the add permission, attach policy, search our policy here. Let's load this page. Okay, our policy is rendered now. Let's select this policy, click on the add permission. Okay, our policy is attached. It will rendered here. Wait for a few seconds, and it shows attached successfully. Let's go to our bucket, click on the management, and we have a one replication rule for the CRR. Let's create for the one more add rule for the SRR. We're giving the name S3 CRR, not SCRR. It is for the SRR demo. Keep it enable, give the priority one, apply to all object, choose the bucket. We have to browse our bucket. This is for the SRR, so select this one, choose path. When you add a destination bucket, application configure, you have to choose the IAM role. Choose IAM role. I have already attached the policy into the same IAM role, so let's keep it default. Okay, next we do not need anything to add. You can add the lead markers. Click on the save. I don't want it, so just submit it, because we have to create the batch job. If you select the yes. Now let's go into our bucket and upload some file. Add file. You can select the sixth one. You can add the multiple file as well. Select the fourth one. Click on upload. The file is uploaded successfully. Fourth and sixth. Let's go here. It's not coming to the SRR bucket. Let's go into the different bucket. The CRR one. Click on the CRR and refresh it. So files are here on the CRR. Let's check here. Files are here. So that's how it's work in the SRR and CRR. So this is all about the SRR CR. Okay, our next topic is S3 lifecycle rule. For that, we are going into my repo. So this is my repo, and just scroll down, and if you scroll down, you will find the next topic is lifecycle rule. So what is the lifecycle rule? It is the automatically manage object in your S3 bucket over time, either by transition them to a cheaper storage class or by expiring them after a defined number of days. What does that mean? Means you are transition your object into the cheaper storage after n days, or you are deleting the object after n days. So it is nothing, just a policy. You are telling to your AWS that what your action should be taken on the object. So this is about the lifecycle rule. So we have a different storage classes from expensive to cheapest. This is the expensive one, and this is the cheapest one. And in between we have a IA, that is infrequent access. Then we have intelligent tier. Then we have unzone IA. Then we have a glacier instant retrieval. Then we have a flexible retrieval. So this is the all storage classes available. You can only transition object downward. Means if you store your object into this bucket, then you can move to this, not the upward. Like you cannot move from IA to the standard one. Okay, here are some common lifecycle rule example. Example 1, archiving old logs automatically. Day 0, you upload a log file, it land to the S3 bucket. That is standard one, the fastest and the most expensive storage class. Day 30, after 30 day, the log is probably not accessed daily anymore. The lifecycle rule automatically moves to the S3 standard IA. Same durability, same millisecond retrieval, just cheaper. Day 90, after 90 day, the log file rarely, if ever touched, it's moved to the S3 glacier. Extremely cheap, retrieval takes minute to hour, but that's fine for old log. You are not reading them in a real time. Day 365, after a full year, the log has no value anymore. It gets permanently permanently delete. No storage cost, no manual, cheap needed. So this is about the example 1. Next we have example 2. Example 2, delete incomplete multi-part upload. This is the most overlooked lifecycle rule, but one of the most important to have. What is the multi-part upload? We have a first question. When you upload a large file to S3, anything over a few hundred MB, AWS automatically split into multi-part upload. Means AWS multi-parts the file and upload them in parallel. This is called multi-part upload. The problem, if that upload fails halfway, network issue, timeout, application crash, the parts that already uploaded stay in your S3. You cannot see them in the normal S3 console view. They are hidden, but AWS charges you for every single byte of those parts. This happens silently and continuously in production environment, failed deployment, broken CI/CD pipeline, application crashes during backup. All of them can leave orphan parts behind. So we have to apply the rule. What's the rule does after 7 days? So we have applied the after 7 days rule. So after 7 days, any upload that never completed gets its part automatically deleted. Clean bucket, no surprise charges. By 7 days, it gives enough time for legitimate slow upload to finish, but catches anything that genuinely failed and was abandoned. This rule should be on every single bucket you create. No exception. It costs nothing and quietly saves money every month. Example 3. Clean up old object version with versioning enable. This rule only apply when versioning is enabled on your bucket. The problem is the when versioning is on. Every time you overwrite or update a file, the old copy become a non-current version and stay in the bucket. AWS never delete automatically. After a few months, you might have 10, 20, 50 old versions of the same file all sitting there, all built at standard price, and most of them completely useless. For example, your team deploy a new version of config.json every week. After 1 year, you have 52 versions of that file stored in S3. You only ever need the latest one and maybe 1 or 2 recent ones as a rollback option. The rest are waste. What the rule does, any non-current version older than 30 days gets permanently deleted. The current version is never touched by this rule, only the old one. So these are the 3 examples. This is the most important examples. Now we have a lifecycle rule scope. You can apply the lifecycle on the entire bucket, so it will rule apply all the object. By prefix, you gave the folder path that in the log folder all the file has the rule on it, means the rule is applied on that folder only. Next we have an object tag. If you tag every object, like you have a dev, test, prod, so you have tag for the dev and test, so rule apply on the dev and test. How to create? So let's go to our S3 console itself. Okay, this is our S3 bucket, but one more thing, here is our presentation. It has the same notes which is in our MD file. We have a transition, expiration. Expiration means delete the file after n number of days. Transition means move the object into the cheaper one. You can scope by entire object, by prefix, and by object tag. Next I have given the diagram which goes to higher to the lower cost options. Next you can archive the file. I have given all 3 examples. Then we completed all the things. So let's go to our AWS console. So these are the 3 buckets. Let's do first cleanup. Click on the empty. It will ask to the permanently delete. Let's copy. Okay, let's do not clean this one. Clean the rest of the bucket which is not required. One space. That's why. Click on the empty. Then exit. Then delete the bucket. Let's first empty this one as well. Click on the empty and paste here. We have one space in the front. Let's click on the empty. Now delete both bucket. Let's delete this one first. Delete. Let's copy the name of the bucket and delete the bucket. After that, delete this bucket, paste the same name and replace the C with the S and delete the bucket. So we did the cleanup. We have only one bucket which has the management section. We have 2 rules already applied. I have deleted the bucket, that's why it's showing like this way. So delete this as well. Okay, we will delete later, or we can edit and remove the bucket name. So let's go to the lifecycle rule. For lifecycle rule, you have to also go into the management section, and here's the lifecycle configuration. Click on the create lifecycle rule. First you have to give the rule name. So give any rule name, like I'm giving the log archival. Okay, so these are the rule name. Then you can give the prefix. I'm giving the logs folder, and we do not need the tag. We do not need to give the tag. Then what you want to do, like we have a option, if you do not provide the prefix here, it will not apply. Sorry, it will apply to the whole buckets. Let's apply the whole bucket first. So you do not have to specify the tag or size or the tag. And then you have to move the lifecycle rule action. In the lifecycle rule action, okay, we can do transition current version of object between storage classes. I acknowledge. We are moving to the standard IA1, and you can set for the 1 day only. Okay, it's saying that you can minimum give the 30 days. So leave it for the 30. Okay, now we have cleaned up our bucket. So let's open our bucket and go to the management. This is our lifecycle rule. Now click on the create lifecycle rule. Give the lifecycle rule log archival rule. I give that name. We are archiving means doing the transition, not deleting the object. And you do not have to specify the prefix. So it will apply over all the bucket. Do not apply the tag. Also not on the size. It is apply on any size of file. But we are doing transition the current version only of object between storage classes. And then you can choose the different storage classes. I'm going with the standard IA1, and minimum required the days is 30. If you pass the 3, it will give you the warning that a minimum of 30 day is required between the transition to S3. So this is the transition, and then if you want to add the more transition, give the 50 day. After 50 day it's moved. Okay, so you can see here day 0 object uploaded. After day 30 object moved to standard IA, then object moved to intelligent tier, and then you can create the rule. Okay, it's asking for the specific, so you give the slash star. Now it should apply. Okay, you have to acknowledge as well. The intelligent value must be at least 30 more than. Okay, if you have to more than 30, then we have to pass the 60. It is fine. Okay, minimum 30 days required, so that's why the reason. Okay, our rule is created on it, applied over all the bucket, but we have to wait for 30 days, so we are not going to wait. If you want to create one more lifecycle rule, so click on the management and create lifecycle rule and give the delete object rule. Same, give slash star. Is going to apply all over the bucket. Permanently delete non-current version, delete expire object, delete marker on incomplete multi-part upload. So I have enabled all the things, and I'm giving the 60 days. Number of version 20 versions. All the versions will delete. Check this one, check this one. Any incomplete multi-part upload happen, so it will delete this as well. So keep it 7 is good number. Expire object also deleted, so you can check day 0 to day 60 and you can create the rule. So I have shown both the example how you can delete the object and how can you move the object into the do the transition into the different storage classes. So this is all about our S3. In the next we are going to learn some other related topic in case of S3. Alright everyone, that brings us to the end of the video, and honestly to a really important checkpoint in the entire S3 series. We started with the basic like create bucket, make it public, private, setting up encryption, hosting a static website, work with the object URL, pre-sign URL. So these are our foundation. Then we also learn about the versioning, CRR, SRR, and we have mostly cover all the topics. In upcoming video we will do the configuration and the integration with S3 with the other AWS service like Lambda function, SQS over there. So make sure if you like this video, drop a like on this video. It generally help the channel reach more people who are trying to learn AWS. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Take care.